Welcome back to For Your Heart and Home. If you are new here, my name is Dee Dee. Welcome to everyone. Today I'm sharing a few of our favorite from scratch recipes. Some of these I've done on this channel before, but really I'm doing a reset today, and so this is just what my family eats. This is the season that we're in right now, and so if this is a repeat of something you've seen before, feel free to check the description box for the recipes because these really are my family's go-to right now. Today I'll be making a rustic Dutch oven loaf that's kneaded and proofed right in the bread machine, 2 homemade pizzas, one topped with pepperoni and another with oven fried chicken strips, plus soft chocolate chip muffins, puffed Kamut Krispies, and a batch of fluffy pancakes. Each of these recipes is made with freshly milled hard white wheat flour instead of all-purpose because real, whole ingredients make all the difference in both flavor and nutrition. I have shared a lot about freshly milled flour here on this channel, and it's something that I have truly become passionate about. If you ever have any questions about freshly milled flour, about where I get my supplies, feel free to ask. I am excited to share that now I am an affiliate with Azure Standard, a wonderful company where I purchase most of my grains and some of my pantry staples in bulk. Buying in bulk not only saves money, but it also keeps my kitchen stocked with healthy ingredients for baking, homeschooling lunches, and family dinners. You'll find my Azure Standard affiliate link in the description box below if you'd like to give them a try and support the channel at the same time. Now, let's get into today's recipes. As usual, I'm going to start by milling the amount of flour that I need for the day. I will be making a lot of different recipes that call for flour, and so I like to just mill it all at once at the beginning of my time here in the kitchen. I am starting with the Dutch oven loaf like I mentioned before, and yes, I am using my new cookbook that I shared in my previous video. If you would like this cookbook, I will link it in the description box, and I am really excited to share all these recipes with you that you can use at home. Again, I'm using 100% hard white wheat to make these recipes. For the recipes like the bread, for example, I will be adding 1 tablespoon of vital wheat gluten for every cup of flour that the recipe calls for. For the recipes like the muffins, I will not be using vital wheat gluten. For the bread machine, I'm just going to dump all the ingredients that I need for the Dutch oven loaf into this bread machine, give it a go, and it will take about an hour and a half to knead the dough and proof the dough before I transfer it to the Dutch oven to get it into the convection oven. As a quick reminder, to get your Dutch oven to temperature, you will need to put it into the convection oven ahead of time. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes to come to temperature, and so you will want to shape your loaf and have it doing a second rise while you get your Dutch oven up to temperature. So this is what it looks like now that all my ingredients are in my bread machine. I'm going to get that going and get started on the next recipe. The next thing I'll be working on will be the chocolate chip muffins, and I just will pull this together in my mixing bowl. Again, I'm just going to put all the ingredients in, get that in the oven, and then move on to something else. So this is what it looks like once I have pulled all my ingredients together. Now, since I'm using freshly milled flour, I'm going to let this sit briefly to absorb all the liquid. Freshly milled flour needs a little bit of time for the bran and the germ to soak in all of the liquid ingredients. And so once you have mixed your batter together, you can set that aside for 10 to 15 minutes so that it can truly soak in all of that wet ingredients. Once that has happened, I'm going to fill my muffin containers and get that into the oven.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young, and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. So loud as the hours pass, we're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. The moonlight, summer sky, it was the best we ever had. And we'll stay on forever, we'll never have regrets. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. We're gonna be. We're gonna be two hearts running wild.
The next thing I'll be working on will be the dough for the pizzas. I'll be making 3 pizzas. I'm making a personal sized pizza for my daughter who doesn't like sauce on her pizza. I'm making a regular pizza with sauce, cheese, and pepperoni. And I'm also making a third pizza with sauce, cheese, and some oven fried chicken strips that I had left over and I wanted to use up in the refrigerator. I have heard a lot of complaints with using the KitchenAid stand mixer to make anything freshly milled flour based. I'm showing you over multiple videos that you can use your stand mixer to pull together a dough without a problem. I am going to put all my ingredients in my stand mixer. I'm going to let my mixer pull the ingredients together, and as soon as it creates a dough ball, I am going to turn my mixer off. I will not be running my mixer for 25, 30, 45 minutes. It's really 5 to 10 minutes, and that should pull your dough together. Then I turn the mixer off and I let the dough sit for up to an hour and a half to double in size. This is what it looks like as my dough is coming together. I'm going to go around the sides. I'm going to sweep them so I can get all the ingredients together. And then the longer my mixer goes, you'll see that it will start pulling together and it will start pulling off the side. Very soon after this, I will turn the mixer off and I will allow my dough to double in size. This is what it looks like after a few minutes of allowing the mixer to go. And then again, I'm going to cover this over and just let it sit and do its thing for up to an hour and a half. So I spoke in my previous video that I like to do multiple things in the kitchen at once, and dough making in bulk is one of those things. So while my bread machine is going with the dough for the Dutch oven loaf, I've just pulled together the dough for the pizzas, and so I'm just going to allow this to proof, and it will take about the same amount of time for the bread machine to do its thing and for this dough to double in size. And so I'm accomplishing two things at once, which is how I like to be efficient in the kitchen. Now that my dough has come together and it's rising, I can pull these muffins out of the oven. There was no theme in today's video. I really was just restocking some things that we needed in our kitchen on this day. I was also making the pizzas for lunch, and the Dutch oven loaf was going to be part of our dinner. So I was just trying to pull together a few things that I could as I had a few minutes in the morning to do that. So I was also working on putting some pancakes away in the freezer so that my children have access to that in the mornings for breakfast as an option. And so I'm just going to whip up a batch of pancakes, again, using my flour mill and my freshly milled flour. I like to do this. I like to keep this stocked in my freezer because it makes breakfast time in the morning so much easier when we can just pull out a few pancakes, warm them in the convection oven, and go about our day. So this is what my pancake batter looks like after pulling all the ingredients together. I did go back and add just a touch more water to make it thinner so that it would work well on my cast iron skillet on the stove. And here are the pancakes. They came out light, they came out fluffy, and they were truly enjoyable. Pancake batter is something that you can allow to sit for about 10 or 15 minutes as well when you're using freshly milled flour. Again, freshly milled flour tends to be thirstier than all-purpose flour that is conventionally milled, and you purchase those at the grocery store. And so if you're using freshly milled flour, allow that flour to rehydrate and drink in all of that liquid ingredients that you're using. So I like to mix my batter together, put it to the side for a few minutes, and in the meantime, I will bring my skillet or my griddle to temperature while the batter is rehydrating. So the pancakes are finished, and now it's time to shape my Dutch oven loaf. I truly enjoy this process and I love working with my hands, and every time I'm in the kitchen I find a new way or a new technique or something new to continue to build on my repertoire of what I know to do in the kitchen, and making these Dutch oven loaves have really been an enjoyable thing for me. So I'm just going to keep this very simple. I'm going to score the top of this and get it in a warm place so that it can continue to rise while I get my Dutch oven to temperature in the convection oven. So I shaped my Dutch oven loaf and I got that into the oven, and the next thing I did was to build the pizzas. And I wasn't able to film that part, but I built the pizzas using the ingredients that I had on hand. So I used mozzarella cheese for the cheese here, and I used pepperoni, and I also checked my fridge, and from a previous meal we had about 2 or 3 oven fried chicken strips left over, so I chopped those up and I decided to top one of the pizzas with that, and it came out so delicious. It was amazing. So here's what the finished Dutch oven loaf looks like. Again, it was just wonderful, and I'm getting back into the rhythm of making these at least once per week. And then I was able to pop the pizzas into the oven, and here I am pulling them out. They are so tasty. I absolutely love making pizza in these cast iron skillets. It just crisps up the bottom of the pizza so well, and it's so enjoyable. And I don't think I'm going to go back to making pizzas any other way. It's fantastic. So I popped those out of the oven, I cut those up, and I gave them to my children because it was time for lunch. And then I popped in the third pizza, which was the one topped with the chicken. And here is what it looked like when I pulled it out of the oven. Again, it was just delicious, and I'm going to try doing this more. I shared in my previous video that we're not very adventurous when it comes to pizza toppings, and I'm all about simplicity. If I can make something that I know my family will enjoy, I just stick to that and I keep it simple. But I also like to try new things, and so this wasn't necessarily new. I've done this before, but I hadn't done it in a long time. And it was just a quick reminder of using leftovers in a new way to just make something even more delicious. And so this was truly something that I enjoyed. So here's what it looks like at the end of my time in the kitchen today. I also made some kamut puff Crispies, and I've shared that many times on here as well. We needed this for a snack, and so this is what we have for today. I have the rest of the muffins because some of them were already gone, you guys. Then I had a tray of kamut puff Crispies, which I will cut up into individual portion size in a bit. I had some pancakes that I could stock in the freezer, and the other pizzas were gone, but this was the chicken pizza that we had and the Dutch oven loaf. So today in my kitchen, I felt like I was really productive, and I was really excited to be able to put something back in my freezer and just to make some delicious meals, because there's something so rewarding about filling your home with the smell of fresh bread and knowing that everything you've made came from simple, wholesome ingredients. Milling your own flour, buying in bulk, and cooking from scratch might take a little extra time, but it brings so much more connection to your kitchen and to your family. If you're looking to start baking with freshly milled flour or stocking your pantry affordably, don't forget to check out Azure Standard using the affiliate link in the description. There's where I get my grains and many of my pantry staples, and it's a great way to save while supporting sustainable, family-centered businesses. Thank you for spending time with me here on For Your Heart and Home. If today's video inspired you, be sure to like, subscribe, and share with someone who loves cooking from scratch. Until next time, may your home be warm, your bread be golden, and your heart be full.